What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 2022 BMW M340i Sedan. Big shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this brand new BMW for today's video. Check out their website linked down below if you're interested in a new BMW. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in Portimao Blue and has an MSRP at $60,000. Underneath the hood, the M340i utilizes a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. This engine pumps out 382 horsepower with 369 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and sends all the power to the rear wheels, and it also features a mild hybrid system. The curb weight is 3,800 pounds, and it can achieve 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds and a top speed at 155 miles per hour. It runs on a 15.6 gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at 23 miles per gallon in the city with 32 on the highway. The overall length is 185.7 inches with wheelbase at 112.2. Width is 71.9 and height is 54.6 inches. Moving our way to the exterior styling now with the M340i. This is a very sporty looking sedan. Up front, you're going to see BMW's LED headlights. They have LED daytime running lights down low as well as on the top, and they have a blacked out housing looking really sharp in this front end. We also get a really sharp line cutting into the headlights that goes down towards the lower grille. You can see in the lower portion of the bumper we have all of your parking sensors and then a ton of mesh to allow cooling to the engine and all the radiators. We even get a functional air inlet on the far left side to let air pass out around the front tires. We get the kidney-shaped grills right in the center, finished off with black housings and black mesh. You can also see the active portion that has a shutter that'll open and close depending on efficiency needs. We also get a forward-facing camera and then your BMW logo right above that. I think the front end really comes together well to give this a fantastic sporty look. If we move our way to the hood, you can see very sharp lines on the top. They cut all the way towards the windshield and help blend all these lines seamlessly. And then moving to the side profile, we get a set of 19-inch wheels in all 4 corners. They're a split 5-spoke design finished in a 2-tone metallic gray and machined silver. And we also get the red painted calipers behind them. Really nice contrast, and it fits really well to the overall spec of this Beamer. On the side, you're going to see a sharp line cutting its way all the way through the side profile above the door handles. Then we have very sleek lines throughout this door panel. More sharp lines in the lower portion of the door and a nice one in the front fender. Then we also get a set of gloss black mirror caps. They have an integrated LED turn signal as well as a side view camera. Then there's a set of body color door handles. This car also has all black trim around the windows to really help all the glass blend seamlessly. And then we get your sunroof up top and a body colored shark fin antenna. If we take a look at the overall side profile, I think BMW makes this very proportional. Everything comes together really nicely from the side to give it a great design. And as we move our way to the rear end, you can even see how the front and rear fender arches bulge outwards to give it that aggressive design. I love how everything is laid out. Moving to the back now, we get a set of LED taillights that even protrude outwards to help give it some width. You can see the red as well as the smoked out housings. We get M340i on the right with a small spoiler on the top portion of the trunk, and then your BMW logo and backup camera right in the center. There's more sharp lines in the lower portion of the rear bumper with a trim piece on the farthest side to add to the width. And then right in the center you can see this metallic gray trim for the diffuser, and then finishing it out we have all of your parking sensors back here and then a dual exhaust with gloss black tips. So there's a good look at the exterior with the 2022 M340i. I think this is one of the best looking cars that BMW makes. I think they do a really good job with the proportions, very sporty and subtle design, and it comes together very well, especially in this blue color. So we have BMW's key fob with some silver trim. If I just tap the BMW logo, it's going to lock the car, and then by keeping the key fob in my pocket, I just have to grab the door handle. It'll automatically unlock and we can check out this interior. This particular car has the Cognac Sensatec interior. It's a really nice brown color with some black accents and silver trim. If we take a look at the door panel now, finished off in that same color, you can see the silver trim along the door panel with your grab handle. We also have all of your window controls and mirror controls, memory seating, lock and unlock, and your release handle. Then we have some storage down below with a cup holder and the release for the trunk. Moving inside, we have the M logo on this aluminum door sill, And then all the power controls are on the left side of the seat. You can see they're finished off in some silver trim. Then we have a really nice set of seats with contrast stitching. We even get an adjustable leg rest. You can pull this in and out for that added comfort. And then you can see the perforated all in the center. Nice bolsters to it. Back bolsters are pretty good size as well. More of the perforated leather in the center. And then moving towards the headrest with more of the stitching. Really good looking spec for sure. We get a black leather steering wheel with your M logo, heated steering wheel button in the center, and then stitching along the airbag. And then now in the M340, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, this is a full LCD display. We have the engine temperature to the right, along with your tachometer. We have some information on the right, nav screen in the center, and then the speedometer and fuel on the left. There's an icon labeled BC on this left stalk that you can tap, and it's going to change what you see on this right side. You can see the horsepower and torque will come up. We also have more information like a G-force meter, radio icons. You can see your drive mode and gear, then a few more things that will come up within the screen. If we take a look at the steering wheel now, you can see all of your Bluetooth and audio controls on the right, and then all the cruise control settings over on the left. And we do get a set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They have a pretty good look and feel to them. We have that turn signal stalk on the left side with your automatic high beam button. Then we have controls on the right for all of your wiper blades. And then also this is a configurable screen. We have your drive mode selections over on the center. We have an eco mode, the comfort, and sport mode. So if I go into the eco mode, you can see how it all turns blue. You can see how it's a little bit different. We now have an MPG gauge over on the right, back into the normal comfort mode, and then up into the sport mode. It gets a little bit more performance oriented. If we take a look on the left side of the steering wheel now, we have a little bit of ambient lighting underneath the air vent, and then all of your headlight controls. And then moving our way across the dashboard, we do get heads-up display. You can see it come up. We have a speedometer as well as the speed limit. And then a few more things like turn-by-turn navigation will come up there along with the radio. We have more black along the dashboard, and then this really cool dark gray wood trim with some texture. Looks pretty nice in here. There's a little bit more silver accent along the entire dashboard. And then if we move our way to the center screen now, we have a configurable display right now with your navigation. You have the sport displays, and then a few more things will come up as you scroll through. If we tap our media icon, we can get into all this with all of your different radio controls and music. We also have the communication for your cell phone integration. And then going back into your navigation screen, we have a full view here, very large screen, super easy to use. And then we have a car icon with all of your different settings. And then we even have apps, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and then a few more things that will come up. If I go ahead and put the car into reverse, your backup camera is going to pop up on the left side with all of your guidelines. We have a top-down view on the right. And if you toggle this, you can see a few different more angles of the car. And then if you tap this icon, we have our 3D camera view. You can see the full view of the car. And I love how it's even in the same color that this exact car is. So I really like all the different views you get. Of course, the front view camera will come up as well. We have a top down for the front. And then we can go ahead and put the car back into park. And then underneath the screen, if you tap this safety button right here, it comes up with all the intelligent safety. You can configure this, so your lane departure, all those things you can configure, kind of change how you'd like it to be in the car. And then underneath that, we have a small LCD screen for all the climate controls. We have the fan speed in the center, your dual zone climate control that you can sync. We have the different zones, the rear defrost, front, heated seats as well, and then a few more icons. Tapping the menu icon over here, that's how you can do a few more configurations within the screen. Then we have some more radio controls below that with your volume on off, and then more of this dark gray wood trim. If we open up this, we have our wireless phone charging mat along with the key fob. You can use this key card as a key fob, which is a pretty cool touch, and that's where it's going to go if you want to use it. We have two cup holders, a USB and a 12 volt, then a little bit more silver trim and all that wood trim accent. On the right side of the shifter, you can see this panel right here with a rotary dial. You can spin this, bump it, and even write on it. Then we have all of your shortcuts to control the screen. So if I tap our home icon, the screen is going to come up back to the main screen. Then if I tap any of the other icons, it comes up. So very easy how you can use the screen touchscreen or using this. And then on the left side, we have your traction control icon, a shortcut to your camera, as well as the parking sensors, then an electronic parking brake. The armrest is finished in that same leather. Then we have a pretty good amount of storage space in here with a USB and an LED light. And then we can move our way over to the glove box. You have a pretty good amount of space in here, as you would expect. And then one last look at the interior. BMW does a good job just keeping their car simple and yet very nice. I love the color combination. This interior feels really nice to be in so far. And then up top, we have a full black headliner with our sunshade for the sunroof, and then all of your LED dome lights and controls for the roof. And then moving to the rear seat space, if I open up the door, the rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front. And then this is a 3-seater back here with all the same interior design with the perforated seats. You can see some storage nets on the back side of these front seats. And then we get climate control vents with all the controls, and then even 2 USB ports down below. All right, so sitting now in the back of this 3 Series, so I'm 5'11". I have pretty good headroom. I'm just barely touching the ceiling. And even with the driver's seat set at my height, I still get quite a lot of knee room, and my feet are right underneath the seat. Pretty good armrest over on this left side of me, and a lot of glass. And then if we take a look at the center, we can pull this strap down, and we get another armrest with 2 cup holders that'll pop up. And then if we close all of this, there's a handle we can pull on the top and pull this entire piece down and gain access to the trunk. I think that's a really good way to really amplify your storage and the comfort in this car. And then moving to the trunk space, you can hold down the button on the key fob. There is one on the rear bumper or that one from the interior. This trunk is pretty squared off. You do get quite a lot of storage space in the 3 Series, and you even get a cutout on the left and the right side for a little bit more space. There's also a lever on the top that you can pull, and you can manually fold down the rear seats. And with those seats folded down, you can see just how much more storage space the 3 Series is gonna have. And they fold down nice and flat, and you get a really large opening into the trunk to make this incredibly useful. And then there's still a ton of space all in front of these seats. All right, guys, so we are setting off now in the M340i. I'm a big fan of this car, honestly. It's kind of like an M3, but it's really the baby version of it. And it's just a really well-rounded sedan. So I'm gonna start off in the Eco Pro mode, just kind of getting my bearings with this car. So visibility and everything like that, you have a really good view out of the windshield, plenty of glass. Same with all of your mirrors. You can see over your shoulders really well. Not really any crazy blind spot. You can really see well on that left side. And then I like how with the cruise control and everything, it has the assist, so it kind of keeps you in your lane, helps you out with all of that. So it's a pretty comfortable car to be in, not really too much road noise or wind noise. We're going 50 miles an hour. You know, nothing too crazy. It's a pretty livable vehicle to be your daily driver. The suspension, it's not crazy soft or crazy luxurious. It's a little bit more on the sporty side, of course, but in this mode, you know, it absorbs bumps well. Going over that bridge wasn't too bad, or, you know, anything abrupt or anything like that. And then the steering feel in this mode, it's really easy to maneuver the car. It's just an easy, normal car to drive, quite honestly. And then I love how, being the M version, you know, it's got these sporty aspects, the bigger engine and all that. So we can put it into a sport mode for the transmission. You can bump it once and into the manual mode. Then we can go into comfort mode, which just makes throttle a little bit more sharp than in eco mode. The engine start stop isn't going to be quite as sensitive as in the eco mode, but then we go into sport mode, and that gets a lot more sharp for the throttle response. The engine gets a little bit louder, minor pops on the exhaust. Then we can even go into the sport traction control, which is going to give you a little bit more freedom with the car. But in this mode, this is kind of the most performance-oriented mode in this car. Do a small acceleration. And if you want to see a full review, check out the M440 that I did. I did launch control and everything in that, since that was very well used. But this one, we'll give it a little bit of gas. We're in 3rd gear. Wow. That was half throttle, you know, short shifting, and it is so fluid. This B58 motor that BMW uses, it is a fantastic power plant, especially paired to the ZF 8-speed. It's so snappy. The rear-wheel drive gives you more of that fun factor. Of course, the all-wheel drive really connects you to the road, but with rear-wheel drive, you kind of get that extra fun where you can slip out the tail end a little bit, especially with traction control in a sport mode. But the car just feels really nice and tight in this driving mode, and I like how this can be one of the ultimate daily drivers. You can use this all the time, you know, for going to work and back, whatever you need to do, traffic, things like that. But then you put it in the fun modes, and you can whip around turns. It handles really responsive. This is a pretty sharp car, and then you give it some gas. And the engine and power plant and everything is really responsive. So then spinning around now to the point of view so you guys can immerse yourself in what it's like behind the wheel of the M340i. So like I said, a really good view all around, and it's sporty enough in here. I like how BMW doesn't go overkill with the technology and the screens. They give you exactly the information that you need and nothing more and nothing less. Like with the navigation right in the center, if I had it on, my turn-by-turn would be in that same screen as well. Same with cruise control, it pops up with a few of the things of information. So I think you just get everything that you need, and it's very easy to use and not distraction. I find that BMWs truly are the driver's cars. They are really about enjoying the drive and just giving you what you want. So we'll go back sport mode and then the manual mode. Really fun car to be in, honestly. You can really have a lot of fun in one of these. As far as the normal comfort, like the seats, I think you can get them in a pretty good place. You have all the adjustments, that extra leg rest, and they're pretty supportive. They're not the softest seats in the world, you know, maybe like a bigger and like an M5 or something would have, but they're nice and comfortable. I think, you know, not really any complaints with them. Armrests are in a pretty good place. And then as we come back to a sharp turn, I mean, going 50 around that turn, it just takes it like nothing. Really good blend. Yeah, BMW, they do a good job making all of their cars fun to drive. And with the bigger brakes, of course, on this particular car, I mean, they come down to a stop pretty well. They bite pretty hard. And then as we come to some quicker turns, you can really have some fun. Yeah, definitely a nice and sporty car. My only complaints, I don't like how the temperature are these buttons. You have to tap them a million times to do anything. I'd like to see those touch sensitive button sliders that you see on bigger Beamers. I'd like to see that in here. And then other than that, you know, not really any complaints. You get a good blend of everything in the car, and it's a fun car for sure. So I think that is then it for the 2022 BMW M340i, the sportiest version of the 3 Series sedan underneath the M3, of course. But definitely a cool car. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then definitely check out Hendrick BMW Northlake. Big shout out and thank you to them for providing this car for today's video. Check out their website and give them a call if you are interested in a new BMW. So that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video.